This is the grave of a Cherokee politician who died in Washington, D.C. in 1846. Ezekiel Starr was a member of the well-known Starr family and a politician who was involved in one of the most infamous rivalries in Cherokee Nation history, that of the Treaty Party and the Ross Party.
In 1830, after the Indian Removal Act is signed by President Andrew Jackson, most of the Cherokee Nation and the Cherokee people had been anti-removal up until this point. Around 1832 is when you see the divide begin within our people. The Treaty Party were the ones who would eventually sign what we know today as the Treaty of 1835 or the Treaty of New Echota. And this ceded all of the lands in the southeast of the Cherokee Nation for lands in the west, out in Indian Territory.
This was the treaty that allowed Cherokees to be removed from their homes on the now infamous Trail of Tears.
The Treaty of New Echota, this is an illegal treaty that is signed by individuals who are not authorized by the Cherokee Nation, the council, or anybody to sign this treaty.
Ezekiel Starr's brother James was one of the signatories on the removal treaty, and both Starrs supported removal. The suffering and loss on the Trail of Tears fueled deeper anger and resentment towards James and other signers of the treaty.
When people arrive here in Indian Territory, people are upset, they're very angry, and the Treaty Party is who everybody is blaming.
A group of Cherokees led by Chief John Ross declared the Treaty Party members outlaws and accused them of treason.
And June 22nd of 1839 rolls around, and this is what many people will call the bloodiest day in the Cherokee Nation. You have leaders of the Treaty Party who are targeted.
Members of the Ross Party attacked and killed 3 prominent Cherokees who had signed the Treaty of New Echota: Major Ridge, his son John Ridge, and his nephew Elias Boudinot. Revenge killings on both sides fueled a veritable Cherokee Civil War.
Between 1839 and 1845, there are hundreds of killings that happen between the Ross Party and the Treaty Party.
The violence terrorized the Cherokee Nation for nearly a decade. So in 1846, a delegation of Cherokees, including Ezekiel Starr, traveled to Washington, D.C. to implore the federal government for assistance with the Cherokee conflict. On April 13th, President James K. Polk made a recommendation to Congress to either divide Cherokee lands between the two factions or provide new land for one of the parties so that each might be able to establish themselves as 2 individual tribes. These measures are the only means of arresting the horrid and inhuman massacres which have marked the history of the Cherokees for the last few years, and especially for the last few months. I am satisfied that there is no probability that the different bands or parties into which it is divided can ever again live together in peace and harmony. But the Ross Party members opposed the separation. Under John Ross's leadership, they persistently advocated for the Cherokees to make amends among themselves and reunite as one nation. In August 1846, both sides came together to bury the hatchet. A treaty was drafted that provided amnesty for all and obliterated party distinctions among Cherokees. Past crimes were pardoned and peace was declared throughout the nation. And quote, "All difficulties and differences heretofore existing between the several parties of the Cherokee Nation are hereby settled and adjusted, and shall as far as possible be forgotten and forever buried in oblivion," unquote.
The Treaty of 1846 did accomplish peace between the Treaty Party and the Ross Party.
Ezekiel Starr never had the chance to enjoy the newly established civility in peacetime. While in Washington, Starr fell ill and died. He's buried there at the Congressional Cemetery.